Good morning, everyone. These are your notes for Unit 1, Lesson 1, actually throughout the entire unit. So you can watch this video, stop and start it to fill in your notebooks how you want to. So that is up to you. So I'm going to go through the slides. So the first one is a couple of definitions. It's talking about the population of some survey that you're taking, or the population is the entire group. So that's the key of individuals that the sample's being taken. So a population would be maybe a school. A sample of that population is a group that's chosen out of the population. So all the girls, Dr. Cersei's math class, the whole 7th grade would be a sample. So those are the two main definitions. Population is everybody. You can see the picture over here. And a sample is a part of that population. Here's some examples. Principal wants to determine which lunch students prefer. He has surveyed 50 students in the 7th grade hallway. The population are all the students in the school. The sample of that population are the 50 students from the 7th grade. So the population is the entire school, and a sample is the 50 students that were surveyed from the 7th grade. Here's the next example. It's a little bit long, but the manager of the department store wants to know how many sandals to order for the upcoming season. He plans to survey how many customers prefer sandals. He asked the first 100 customers that came in. So it doesn't say in the example that anything about all the customers, but the population is all the customers that are coming in the store for that particular day. And the sample, he's taken the first 100. So the sample is the first 100 students, the first 100 customers that came in. The population is all the customers for that entire day. So this one is real easy to get confused. The first 100 customers is the sample. Here's another example. The TV producer wants to know which adult viewers' favorite genre. So he asks or selects 300 randomly from a phone book. So all the adult TV viewers, it's not mentioned up here except right here. That is your population, all the adults that view. The sample is the 300 that he selected from the phone book. So adults, TV viewers, population. The sample, what he selected, were the 300 adults randomly. That one is also easy to get confused. Here's some definitions. When you're talking about a sample, an unbiased sample is a sample that is accurate. It represents. Unbiased means it's accurately represented of the population. A simple random sample is each item or person in the population is likely to be chosen as another. So randomly, each person in the survey is likely to be chosen. An example of that would be if I had all names in a plastic bag. Everybody had one ticket with their name on it, and I started randomly selecting tickets out of the bag. Each student has a likelihood of being chosen over other students because every student has one ticket in the bag. Systematic random sample, or when people are selected according to a specific time or interval. An example of that would be every 10th person that comes in the classroom, I ask them a survey question, or every other person that comes in the classroom. Or it could be a survey you ask every 10 minutes. You ask a student in the lunchroom what they like for lunch. So that is systematic, specific time or interval. Random, these two are totally different. Random is when I choose a name out of a bag. Systematic has to do with time or specific interval. Every 10th person, every 3rd person, every hour. So those are more definitions of samples. Here's some more definitions. A biased sample does not accurately represent the population. Biased does not, unbiased does. Here's some examples of a bias sample. A convenient sample is whoever is available population, you would survey them. A convenient sample for me would be if I have homeroom in my room right now and I want to do a survey, they're there sitting in my classroom, so it's very convenient for me to survey them. A voluntary response obviously goes right along with the word. Whoever wants to volunteer to participate, they can volunteer. So convenience means if somebody's convenient, there's people sitting in our classroom, homeroom, first period, second period, third period, that's convenience for me. Voluntary means you basically call in and you say, I would like to do the survey. Don't forget, bias means does not accurate. Unbiased means it does accurately represent the population. Here's a couple of more examples. Random sample of students show that 10 students prefer rock, 15 students prefer to listen to rap, and 25 students prefer no music while exercising. It can be concluded that half the students prefer no music. This type of sample is a simple random sample because it says right here, random sample of students were surveyed. This is valid, means it's a good survey because everyone in the population had an equal chance of being selected. Random. Okay? So there's an example of random. Systematic. Here's the key. Every 10th person who walks into the department store is surveyed. Out of 150 customers, 70 stated they prefer rock music. The manager concludes that about half of customers would prefer rock. So that's a systematic random sample, every 10th person. It's valid because everybody in the population had an equal chance of being selected. So systematic, random. The system was every 10th person that walked into the department store. That has to do with time or a specific situation. Every 10th person. System. There was a system to his survey. Every 10th person. That's how I used to remember that particular phrase. Here's another example. City council member is surveying people in the city to determine their favorite leisure activity. He is in a music store and decides to survey the people there. He finds that 85% of the listeners 85% prefer listening to music, 6% is playing sports, and 11% prefer reading. You can see that 85% like listening to music, but where are they at? They're in a music store. So this is a convenience sample. The convenience is he's in a music store and there's people in the store. This is a bias sample. It does not represent the population because he's in a music store asking a music type question or a possible answer that could be music to his survey, leisure time activity. It's invalid because the customers in the store are biased and probably like listening to music in their free time because they're in a music store. Excuse me. Not all members of the population had a chance to be surveyed. One last one. Radio station asked listeners to indicate their preference of one of two candidates for the upcoming election. 72% of the listeners responded preferred candidate A. So the radio station announced that candidate A would win. This is a voluntary. They didn't have to answer the survey, they chose to. It's invalid because not all members of the population had a chance to be selected. This is invalid. Voluntary. So those are your examples. That's a lot of definitions, so please review this video, stop and start it, fill in your notes in your composition book or your interactive notebook. And I will post this on eClass. Thank you.